Hey everybody, this is Brent Boyer from Adam. So let's talk divorce. I wanted to talk today about a client I met with and some trouble they were having with figuring out how assets get divided, how assets and debts are treated, property division in a divorce case. So the client came in and he had a spreadsheet, showing what assets he had and what the house was worth and what he owed on the house and retirement accounts, and basically this drawn up kind of form and a conclusion about who he thought should get what, how much his wife should get in the split in the divorce case, and how much he should get. So basically it's his proposal of kind of how to look at all this and what the facts are and what you have. So useful information. It's good to have all of that ready when you're going to meet with an attorney. But there were some mistakes on it that are pretty common, and of course they're not his fault. He's not going to have any way of knowing what these crazy rules about how to divide all this up are, how lawyers do things, how judges do things, and what it all looks like. So I wanted to just make you aware of a few common mistakes that you'll see in property division when a layperson is looking at it versus when having a divorce lawyer looking at it, and how these things can really kind of screw you over if you're not aware of the information. So one typical mistake would be comparing apples to oranges. You want to compare similar things to similar things. So for example, if I've got $50,000 of equity in my house and I've got $50,000 in a savings account, those two are not exactly the same thing. And if I've got $50,000 in a 401k, let's say, so 401k, savings, equity, and a home, they're all worth 50 grand, but they're not all really worth 50 grand. They're not worth the same thing. So let's look at the 50,000 in savings versus 50,000 in a 401k retirement savings. So to access the money in the 401k, I have to pay the taxes. Even if I'm at an age where I'm old enough to withdraw the money without a penalty, I still have to pay the taxes. There's no avoiding taxes. So if I got 50,000 in the 401k and I'm going to take the money out, they're going to withhold 20% before I ever even get my money. So now I've lost 50 minus 20%. Now I got 40,000. So what the client had done is he'd say, well, I'll keep my 401k. It's worth 50 grand, and my wife can have the 50,000 in savings. So of course that he loses out on that deal. He's behind by 10 grand. And actually, if there's a penalty, there's another 10% penalty as well if he's not older than 59 and a half years of age. So you got 50,000 in a 401k, 50,000 in savings. They're not equal. And writing up a spreadsheet showing them as equal assets is just screwing over the person that's going to get the 401k. Not how you'd want to do things. You have to tax effect. So you have to look at the number and take into account the effect of taxes on it before you start dividing up assets. So I wanted to just give that to you. That's one example of how things go and what you'd want to look at with dividing assets. One other quick example would be with the equity in the home versus money in a savings account. You'd want to be sure you get an accurate value on the home, an appraisal, an agreed upon number, because you don't want to be making guesses about that and then cashing somebody out. So you got 50 grand in savings, we all know that's 50 grand. But if you got 50,000 in equity, we want to make sure that's really what you have. And of course, if you had to sell the home, you're going to have to pay costs of a realtor, costs of sale to actually get your hands on the money. That creates a whole nother issue. So I wanted to give you just a couple examples on that. Any questions, of course, let me know. And as always, subscribe and like the video. If you know anybody that could benefit from it, please let them know as well.